Good evening, Internet. Welcome to the Tell Izel show. We are live from the ASMR Radio Center. How are you this evening? Well, I know that according to tonight's spooky weather forecast, we have in England an extra shower of tears. In Australia, for tonight, there is an increase of witches. Apparently, the tourism has increased. I think it's due to its warm weather. You see, in the northern hemisphere, at the moment, it's autumn, it's chilly, it's cooler. So I think these witches are just going to Australia and New Zealand for the warmer weather. So Australians and New Zealanders, watch out. You might see a witch. And what do we have over in the United States? Well, apparently in many vegetable farms, there's an appearance of pumpkins, even though they haven't been planted there. It's very interesting. Interesting indeed. Also, in Ireland, there's a higher percentage of reports of people seeing ghosts. Oh, it's definitely Halloween. And of course, I cannot disappoint you. I have stories to share with you. And tonight, I am happy or scared to share one with you from the land of the Aztecs. Oh yes, very much. And who are the Aztecs? Well, it's a very good question. The Aztecs are one of the many indigenous groups in the Americas. Now, what am I going to be sharing with you today? It's a legend, or so they say. It's called the Fleshless. But why am I sharing this with you tonight? Well, the reason being is because the other night, my producer is, we are a perfect match. You see, do you ever have that one friend or that one relative in the family that you say to yourself, if it's going to happen to someone, it's going to happen to that person? Yes, we all have that one person in our lives who's always talking about the supernatural. They're always saying that they've seen an alien, or they saw a UFO up in the sky, or that they saw something in their house, or they heard something. Yes, we all know that one person. And that's my producer. And we are indeed a perfect match because I like to hear the stories and they like to tell them. It happens to them all the time. No one else believes them, but I do. And I know that you do as well. Right? I hear a resounding yes from all over the world, everywhere. And again, remember, we are live, so send us your comments. Let us know what the weather is like in your place. Well, So my producer told me that the other day they were out for a drive in the night. I don't understand why this person always does this, but oh well, that's just how it is. They won't listen. And they saw a lady walking down the street. And what was so unusual about this? Well, number one, the time of night. Two, the weather. It was cold, but this person was walking without a jacket on. But she seemed to be okay. And so my producer saw her from a distance and slowly slowed down, thought maybe this person needs help. Well, as my producer got closer, they started to get this feeling that something was not right. The hair on their necks started to rise up. But they said, nope, maybe it's someone that needs help. Just be very cautious. And as they got closer and closer, this woman became aware of the vehicle and slowly, 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 slowly turned around to meet the eyes of my producer. They drove off. It was something like they had never seen before. Those eyes. My producer said, I don't know, but that was not human and I cannot describe it. I am still processing it. And of course, I said, is it possible that you saw the Fleshless? They said, I don't know. It's a possibility. Now, if you're wondering, why am I withholding my producer's name? Well, you see, they don't want people to know their name. Nothing. So, out of respect for my producer, is the reason why I'm withholding their name. Well, the Fleshless. Who is the Fleshless? Legend has it, in the land of the Aztecs, a long, long, long time ago, there used to be a village. Well, there were many villages, but this one in particular. In this village, just like any other, there were many warriors and women. Families. There you go. That's what I meant to say. But there was one couple who could not conceive. And you see, in that village, it was very important for a woman to bear children. So you can only imagine what this woman was going through. She was seen as an outcast. She's not normal. She cannot conceive. She's married to a warrior, a powerful man. She should be able to get pregnant and give birth to healthy babies. Something must be wrong with her. Is she cursed? And so, of course, the women in the village became afraid of her. And they kept their distance. They isolated her. They shunned her out. But the woman had a very good husband. And he protected his wife. And he stood up for her. And he said that she would not be banned from the village. She would stay. Alas, my friends, warriors have to go to war. And he was called to fight. And just as he was leaving the village, his wife found out that she was indeed pregnant. And as she ran, looking for him, trying to catch him before leaving the village, the women, they realized that he wasn't there to protect his wife. And so they stoned her to death, not knowing that she was pregnant. And as she was drawing her last breaths, she asked the gods to help her with revenge. And the gods heard her prayers, and they told her what to do. And what happened next? Well, she came back to haunt the women in the village, but not as a ghost. Oh no, not as a ghost, but as the Fleshless. You see, she would appear to them, and suddenly, as they're looking at her, her flesh begins to just fall off the muscles, fall off the bones, everything, her hair, her eyes, everything, her lips. It's a human skeleton. But it's horrifying to see. And what happened? The women ran from their houses, terrified. They knew that this was revenge from her. And they couldn't sleep because she would appear out of nowhere. No one was safe. Unfortunately, the revenge got out of hand. For you see, she started to kill children. Some boundaries should not be crossed. And at the height of the terror, her husband returned and found out about the news. And he just couldn't believe that it was his wife. But then he saw her. He followed her in skeleton format. Followed her into the jungle where she had left some of her flesh behind. And as she stood there, the flesh came back, and she was once again the beautiful woman that she had been in life. Something had to be done. It was a revenge that was getting out of hand. Well, the husband waited until the following night. He waited at the same spot. And there she arose, and part of the flesh fell off. She was becoming even more terrifying. So when she left the jungle and went back to the village to terrorize the inhabitants, he went to the flesh that she had left, and he put salt on it. Salt. Yes, we hear about this in every legend. Such a powerful mineral. And he stayed, hiding, and waited for her return. And when she came back, she tried to revive the flesh, beckoning it to come back to her bones and muscles and cheekbones everywhere. And they would not rise from the ground. She had been defeated She knew that someone knew who she was. They knew her secrets. They knew how to get her. And so she left, disappeared, never to be heard of again. Or so we thought. For you see, as time went on, men began to see her. And even in modern times, I've heard that if a man is riding his bike, driving his vehicle alone in the night, and they see a woman walking down the road, a beautiful woman, nevertheless, and of course, being a gentleman, helping out other people, they'll ask her if she needs a ride, and she says yes. And while she's in the back seat or in the passenger seat, they'll be having a conversation. Sometimes, in some stories that I've heard, she seduces them, and in the middle of it, her flesh begins to fall off, and the men run away terrified. Is it true? I don't know. I don't know. But I will say one thing for sure is that many people that I know do not drive alone in the middle of the night. My producer was one of the few who did that. And from now on, I think we're going to be carpooling. There is safety in numbers. But yes, be very careful. Does the Fleshless exist? I don't know. But I think she might still be around. There has to be some truth to some stories, no? And what is the moral of the story? Be kind. Be kind. Be kind. And, well, my friends, we have come to the end of our story. Enjoy Halloween. Enjoy it. Be safe. Have fun. And I'll see you next time.